All right, we should be live. Let's see. Sound off if you're joining. So I know that people are here. And so I can find out if everything's working okay. All right. So let's see if we can make sure everything's watchable, readable. Let's see. Big things are good. Yes. Oh yeah, kill my terminals. Let's see this one. That should be decent enough. So I'll get started, and as you join, sound off. I'm happy to know who's here. All right. So I was setting this up to look okay. And I wonder how I want to do with a single picture here. Hey, need to sleep. So these are 6 images for one post, and this is an entirely different post with a single image. And I feel like that should probably be allowed to take more space. I wonder how that's done best. Shouldn't get into those details right now. Probably get some of the other stuff nice and working first. All right. So last time I was dealing with making uploads work. Now uploads are working, and I have some uploaded stuff that I can actually render. So that's good. Right, I was gonna add a date to these as well, and probably due to a bug, not every post has a published at date. I'll have to fix that bug at some point, but for now I just want to put it in here, which would mean all right, there's none of them have it, I guess. Or I haven't actually copied this stuff down into this. So Oh, no scrolling. Yeah, it ends down there. Okay. Thanks, good to know that sounds alright. You might hear some rain on occasion. I was a little bit late starting the stream just because I had to run into the house and get the camera because I had forgotten to to bring the camera. Since I'm on vacation, I've been using it for other things. And I had to set it up again. Oh, now I'm seeing a bird of prey outside my window again. Nice. Alright, so that makes these posts look somewhat okay. Let's do fit to window so I can actually see the lower ones. Yeah, the ones that aren't images look like garbage. That's... feel like I probably want to handle images and other media separately, but it does get a little bit tricky to do that nicely. So if instead of flex boxing everything to fit together like this, well, actually I should be able to treat this one separately and just give... Well, it's plenty warm. We just had a spot of rain and it's still very warm here. Unfortunately. Hey, Joe. So let's try that. Probably... can I tell something that is flex to occupy everything? Let's see, flex box clear. Oh. So I think when I'm dealing with a non-image file, such as this episode 4 .mp3 here, I would want that to just have a line of its own. So I'm telling it to be full here. I don't think this affects Flexbox. No. Oh wait, where am I editing? Now I'm editing the drafts one. That would not work. Duplicated code can sometimes be a pain. As always, let me know if you have questions. I'll just keep going along. Hey, John. Not sure I've seen you here before, so very welcome to the stream. So, building a small photo thing here. We'll see how far we get. Can actually show the really ugly uploady publishy thing. So if we just revisit this, we don't have to be in responsive mode right now. Alright, so if I bring down this unstyled publishy thing, select a couple of images. Yeah, I can imagine you hear the birds. They've invaded the garage. Damn things. I wonder what that is. What bird that is. So here we have a couple images that I just uploaded, and yeah, I just added Tailwind and it removed all the styling, so there's some text boxes around. And I can go save. Yeah, that's a button because Tailwind. Yay! Oh. Well, I'm glad you returned, Johan. That's I'll take that as a vote of confidence. All right. So there's a ton of things I want to improve here, but I think let's start attacking this form and just making it parsable at all, because this is stupid. And while we're working on it, I'm going to switch it to be opened up by default. So I'm using Alpine just to give a little bit of an interactivity. I was trying Alpine version 3, but I couldn't get it to work properly. So this is Alpine 2. Let's see. So this publish switchy thing, that's going to change. That's very temporary. Actually, is it appropriate to have an H2 inside this? Oh, well, this should just be open equals. Let's skip these and click the entire header. Let's see. I think cursor pointer as Tailwind for cursor pointer. Yeah. All right. So that's the publishing thingy. Now, so I have this media display, and that's pretty much the same that I was working on here. So let's grab my favorite one of these. Let's go up, smack it in here, replace post.media with app media. Take a look. Yeah, it looks should be the same, should be fully compatible. Unfortunately, I don't have a formatter for live EX. I think Alex has promised to make one. He hasn't promised, but he wants to make one because we all need one. I don't think I need that one. Something like that. So now we added a new div, and we have not shut that div yet. Cool. I really should put some padding on these pictures because it gets really hard to sort of keep them apart. Some margin is what I want, probably. Yeah, so that's a margin. So that's the what have we uploaded so far. Then we have, so since we should be able to click drag files here, click to upload. Can I just smack the label around the whole damn thing so I can then, yeah. And gotta check that it doesn't break the dragging. Let's see. Oh, that seems to work. Sweet. because I will want to just add a class hidden on this, I think. That should still work. Cool. Because I don't want the original... The OG button is fairly ugly. Let's see, we haven't added any margins. This is MY8, MX4, that seems fine to me. And as always, questions very welcome. I'll just keep working along unless I get questions, and trying to at least somewhat talk through what I'm up to while I'm doing it. Sometimes that leads to mumbling to myself. Alright. This drop target looks ugly as hell. I just added some style to make it visible at all. So let's do BG gray 800. Needs to be a block. W full. I should just do the label. Should have all this style. Oh, style. That won't work. Should be a class. Thought it was weird, but also don't care about that detail. I had another post go on Hacker News today as well. That's always mostly fun. I know a lot of people are sort of not thrilled about going on Hacker News, and I totally get that. It's not nice to everyone. I typically don't write things that the Hacker News crowd really wants to pick apart too much, or I'm not particularly bothered by the type of discussion it leads to. So for me, it's mostly sort of a nice recognition of interest. Okay, 5/6 should be fine. I want around the 80%. And then we should be able to do margin X auto. That centers it. Order round MG. I don't remember what the round is. Rounded corner. Rounded. Okay. There we go. Rounded corners. Still looks like trash, but much better trash. So let's see if we can improve it further. P, Y, P, X. Yeah, right. This probably doesn't matter. No. Okay, so now we have an area that should be decent enough to drop things on. This publishy thing needs to be better now. So maybe half a screen, and rounded MD, and MX auto, so it's centered. Cool, cool, cool. Text should be larger. Text to XL. That makes it seem very tight and constrained, so let's do padding 4. No, it's very big. That's better. Better that it's big and noticeable, at least. I'm not sure about having a background on this though. Thoughts are welcome. Let's try that for now. Maybe I should have like an HR here, just to indicate that there's a sort of beginning and an end here. Oh, I could do that with some borders as well, I guess. Let's see. So this would be that, and yeah, something like that. I should improve the border. But it's a start. Actually, I have a horizontal row thing. Yeah, my MY8. So margin on the y-axis and 8. That means we get a bunch of space. Might be too much space in there. Surprising how often more space is fine. It does in the long run lead to less efficient use of space, but often a lot of clarity. All right, so I'm a little bit undecided about the sort of layout of this form. So what I want people to be able to do is upload images really, really quickly and just go ahead and publish that. But if they also want to sort of write some text, that's something they can do, and I don't want to make that sort of hard. But I feel like media has the priority in this case. So not sure exactly how I wanna play that. But let's start with this title. That can be a block. It should be the full width, text 2XL, BG border, no, BG white, text black. BG gray 100, what's that like? So it's already white, which is fine, I guess. I don't remember how you make borders. In Tailwind. I do remember how to do them in CSS, but that doesn't really help me right now. Alright, so I just go like border 2, and that gives me a 2 pixel border, but I don't like the way it looks, so I will round it. And then I'll swear at it, realize I don't want a border at all. And then we go G gray 100, then it's like, ooh, that's really low contrast. That's slippery slope until I invert the colors. Yeah, that'll do for now. Right now, this is just a text area. I don't think that will stand because text areas are crap for styling. And I want this to be nice to use. So probably not going to hang around. Don't think we need a focus outline on that one. Is that not a focus outline? Is it a focus border? I think that's a focus outline. None. There we go. But we should probably accommodate the feeling of focus. So let's do focus BG gray 400. See how that works. Again. There we go. So maybe 200 is for the focused one. And these are 400. I don't think this color scheme will sort of stay around for the long term. But I need to do something just to make it usable while I'm working on it. This is interesting. That's a visual if I ever saw one. And this. All right, Joel, have a good one. Yeah, it might actually be a longer stream today because I do have some extra time. Just in virtue of being on vacation, I don't actually do any of my normal work today, so I can just sit around and do this for a little bit. Thanks to my darling wife who lets me do some maintaining my tech skills kind of work in the middle of my vacation. But I really enjoy doing these things, so it's good to get the chance to. That's a bit big of a text, isn't it? Large looks about right to me. Ooh, wait. Oh, right. Now it's this particular width, but it's not centered. So if we just go and text center, we can get it in the middle, which I think looks okay. And then we want to probably make this save button a little bit more clear. Actually, I want to see what our error handling looks like right now. What did it do? What? Something just blinked. Entire window manager must have crapped out. I think we should have complaint somewhere around here. I believe we had a validation thing which would complain at, let's see, it should complain at 140 characters for the title. Have I broken form validation somehow? Probably. That's okay. I can fix that later. That's not so interesting. Let's not keep this evil title. Let's do that. I think we could probably do a nicer checkbox than that one, but I'm not sure I want to screw around with that for the moment. Okay, save button. Let's make it a block. Let's make it half the width. Max auto. Sure it keeps its distance. Now it's a piece of text, probably in the middle. Not exactly perfect, but let's do. See, do I have other colors like this? Yeah. I should probably start using those. I don't think I had all the colors in my last setup of Tailwind, so I'm not used to working with color. And so the refactoring UI book suggests working sort of grayscale until you decide on colors. I believe that was where I got that idea. Let's darken this a bit. Don't tell me there's not a green. That's a bit dark. Maybe 500. And then text white. Text. Can I do text bold like that? Or does it have to be like font bold? Yeah, that's not. Just bigger. I think it should just be bigger. All right. Whatever else you might think about this, I think it's an improvement. I also need to sort of redirect you somewhere when you finish saving it. So, the way I'm currently doing it is that when we save it, if it has an ID, that we run an update. If it doesn't, we run an insert. And regardless, I make sure we end up at a path for this specific item. So edit 4. But I think it would make sense to sort of be done with it if you hit save. So maybe that's not what you'd want. Let's go to the start. So this is what you see at the start, or more typically this would be false. And you could hit this to maybe I should have placeholders telling us that this is a title field. It's not super informative right now. All right, let's do that. Title. more more text if you like. All right, comma. So not very visible. Let's see. Can you set the placeholder text in some way? Placeholder color. Okay, so that's just same way. Placeholder black. That's a bit much. So gray 800. Sure. Let's go with that. Or let's crank it down a little bit if we can. 600. 600 might be good. Still no questions. Maybe everything's very clear. That's okay. You're allowed to understand what I'm doing. It's also okay to ask me some questions that are not related to this. That's perfectly fine. All right, so if we are using this now, and I just upload some images, and they show up as tiny squares. We write some text. I was on a walk. Foo bar baz. Check it, hit enter, save. And wait, did it resort the images? That's not ideal. Oh wait, but yeah, maybe it would. Let's take a look. No, not add, don't add a spec. So we persist the media. Yeah, and we just add the media to that. So we should do updated media equals enum dot sort by. There are so many sort bys in Elixir. So I need to sleep. I always do some kind of testing. I'm not sure. So since this is something I'm building and my plan is to turn it into something of a product, I would probably be the one testing to make sure it works the way I intended. I don't, depending on what you mean. Yeah. Depending on what you mean by testing, yes. But I know you're trained in sort of QA automated, both manual and automated testing, and I don't think I'll build the kind of tests you build for automation, and I don't think I'll sort of sit down and have a test schedule for these are the specific things I need to test out. That's not usually how I do things. But yes, it will be tested in different ways. All right. Sort by users. That should be fine. So if I take this, it's just adding that, and then I do this syntax, which I don't really like because it's confusing. But that should mean that let's see if we start a new one and we add some images. So house, field, 3 forests. And we save it. Yeah, the order didn't change, which was the plan. All right, so that's that. Now let's revisit this. When I pull off a save event, I don't think this push patch thing actually matters at all, because the only thing I really want to do when this happens is make sure to close the publish field and sort of clear the post. So So this one, that one will save a draft post if we're dealing with the files. So we're doing uploads, but we haven't actually written anything. So that one, when that's saved, we don't actually want to sort of finish this. But in this case, where we save, we might as well do that. So we don't have to refresh the feed. We can actually do a redirect page path. All right, it's push or redirect. Socket page path socket index. So this should mean that we just redirect to wherever we are currently. Page path. Wasn't that it? Page path. Oh, we're only importing page path 3. I think we need page path 2. So now, if we do, let's take some other pictures. Bunch of fun. Publish that. Explosions? What's this about? Oh, no function matching 2. Redirect 2. It's hard not to hit the moving uploads. All right, so this redirects us back and posts the thing. Now, why aren't we getting the published at set if post data? I'm just gonna check why it doesn't set my timestamp as I expect it to. It's complaining ISO 8601 in this. Or somewhere. It's definitely complaining somewhere. Thought I had an ISO here. So here we have published at nil, where I'm investigating. So I hope the redo works. No, that was Vim undo, and Vim undo is weird. Alright, loving this. Let's see, I need to set 2. But let's do io.inspect p. Don't have to use those. Okay, so this one is a string. That's a fairly important part in this. So if I want this to work, I should probably do this. That should give me at least one published one with a date time stamp, hopefully. Now we can check the database. Where did my DB go? I'm pretty sure I'm running it on. Yeah, okay, dev/db. Yeah, okay. Not much. All right. So what's happening? I inspected that, and that was probably true, ideally. All right. Rather that. Let's do this. Get a wider terminal. Helps a little bit. Set publish. And it's like is published is true and published at right. I'm looking at the thing is I don't want to overwrite the original publishing date if we're switching published and unpublished back and forth, because the original publishing date is probably what you want regardless. So yeah, that's why this is a little bit finicky. All right, that's good enough for now. We'll want to format that further in the future. So, bunch of posts here. Something that's going to be important is being able to click these and getting a big version of them. I think LiveView has some support for modal. I don't know that I need to use that. So since I have Alpine, that might be easier. Whereas like if you click one of these, you would probably want to navigate to viewing that post and being able to sort of click through the images. That might be the case. Or it should just be sort of Instagram feedy. Let's see. I wonder. As always, challenge. Which approach do you want? Commit some of this because we fixed some stuff. Fix published at date and some visuals. It's gonna be vague commit messages for a bit. Don't forget to hydrate. Especially if you're talking on the internet. Let's see how this stuff works in mobile. Seems okay. Suddenly it seems like this drag and drop area should just be the same width as those titles. And they are just a bit full. And this looks fairly sensible. That's a little bit of a small one for mobile. It's fine to hit, but maybe we do this one inline block W1.5. Can they be next to each other then? Well, they don't want to be. Let's group them up with. Just add a flex to this whole thing, I think. Nope, that's absolutely not what I wanted. And that tells me that that one needs a little bit more fun margin. Because, let's see, this one. Alright, this one has padding as well. So let's pad that one, and those should line up pretty much now. Pretty neat. I might not want it centered anymore. Not sure. I think that's about the spacing I will want. And let's see if it looks like crap on the big one. No, not too bad. So now I'm not convinced that my draft one and my published one is in any kind of parity. So while uploading here, I think it makes sense for this image squares to be fairly small, because you might have a lot of them. I wonder if there's a point to expanding them a lot for the main view though, because I think then we can do sort of, not quite full view, but at least a decently large size. Let's try some of that. Collapse this. Just go ham on these draft ones. So, what happens if we stop wrapping these? And they are blocks instead. And they get to do W full. Then these long images. Don't love that. Let's see, max height. And max with scale? No, okay. So, as you could tell it to be the max height screen. Let's see what that gets us. Now that's cropped down, which it would be nice to be able to indicate that this happens. And sort of show people that they are being cropped. So right now they are being cropped to actually fit the screen. And if we change the size of the screen, that's a fairly responsive way of doing it. I like it. You can actually get this onto your screen. So let's see if we have a smaller phone. That'll adapt pretty well. Moto G4. I don't know if that's a big or small one. Pixel 2. No, seems fine. And I think then we want some MY4 maybe, just to make sure we see that we're passing between them. And we will need to be able to click them to open them, otherwise it ends up stupid. So let's see if we can actually do that nicely with Alpine. Just Alpine. That would mean I want to add an ID to this. So that would be something like image photo or image post.id. And media.id. Then, yeah, time to start line breaking this thing. So this one now needs next data, which is expanded, and it's false by default. Cool. And if you click this, it should toggle expanded. So expanded equals negative expanded. Let's see, I don't remember how to do that in Alpine. So Alpine, give me those version 2 docs. So expand class. I believe there's a shorthand where I just go class as well, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. So let's do expand class. And here then we would want a class called expanded image. And we just apply that if it's an expanded image, because I don't want all of that particular markup in there. Instead we do expanded image here, and that could then be position fixed, I think. Top 0, left 0, right 0. bottom 0 and object fit contain so this should make sure that oh, did I break something? Yep. We can also do background color white or black. Let's do that. No? Not getting my background color black? Right, so. Since it doesn't entirely cover, this only almost worked. It's probably the cheapest modal I've ever made. CSS is pretty powerful. Okay, there's some stuff to be done to make that properly sort of accessible and stuff, but shouldn't be a problem. But these things have a slight issue. They should be on this one, but this one doesn't just apply to images, so that's a separate issue. So then I'd want to move this one in here and have a normal sort of block here. Oh, I wish this could auto format. That would be swell. There's actually a project in the Elixir space that I've been really keen to try to do some stuff with. The Sorcerer library, which allows you to toy around with the AST of Elixir, so you could. I think it makes it more feasible to do code generation, where you actually sort of modify existing code and that sort of thing. Could be super interesting. Curious to screw around with it. Right, and then I wanted to do, this actually does need to be in here, because I want to be able to add a background to the image. So this is probably not what's intended with the layer utilities thing. I don't know. It's not caring right now. So we're getting this thing. All right, I'm doing that. It's entirely reverse. That's what I want. Come on. What's that? Margins. Margin 0. It's important. There we go. Yeah, I think a black bar is probably the best. And we might as well want to see if we can do something to even that out, I guess. Object position center. No, doesn't really move. Can you do the margin auto thing with top auto? Not sure that works. We'll say. Have never tried it, I don't think. Thank you, Johan. Appreciate a good nice at this point. That's nice enough. I think that'll do. So now at least when you scroll through the pictures. So this is not a superb experience, this part. But there's also very little you can do about it. But if you flip the device, if you have that turned on, everything also actually works. These pictures are super tall. So you get to see the whole picture. It's not actually zooming the picture. It is making sure you get to see all of it. And I think a small download or open in another window button would be nice. So I'm looking at hero icons here to see if there's anything. Let's see, pop out. Does it have a pop out sort of thing? No. Arrow. Or like a sort of arrow to the side or something. Tab. Well, it's weird. Add. I think I'll do sort of document add. That's probably the closest icon I can find. Yeah, I'm using heroicons.com. It's works nicely with this kind of thing. I like it. It's convenient, if not perfect. So I will just put this. So that would be an A. Let's see, that would be the media path, media. Title, open in, open image in browser. Open image directly is maybe a decent way to state it that. Blank. I think I encountered target blank being sort of unsupported at some point, but I don't know that there's a replacement, and it actually works. So I don't know why it wouldn't be. But they keep deprecating things that work. Okay, so let's make this small, rounded, full background or BG gray 900, 800, I think. Opacity 0.5. Text white. Padding P4. Yeah, I think H6 and A. Those are probably fine. Let's flip this back. There we go. So I think what we're seeing here is, yes, our little button. It's not doing so well. But that's manageable. So one thing we do need to do here, if we want to position that as a button on top of the other thing, is that this needs to be relative by default. It's fine when it's absolute, when we've expanded it. And this needs to be absolute. Bottom 0, right. So let's do right 4, bottom 4. So now it's there. I don't think the opacity is working, so just look at that. Oh, hey, McBull. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the stream, I should say. You've definitely been here before. Hope things are good. I'm definitely enjoying my time off, and I'm also very happy to be back at the keyboard for a little bit, because I do really enjoy doing computer shit. Maybe just skip the opacity entirely. I don't like the way that looks right now. PG black. Let's crank down that. So that gives us. Whoa, this is trippy. Oh, right. Now we get set index. This could be hell. No, but these are siblings, so let's see. So this would be Z10 and this would be Z0. I want this on top of the thing every time. Right, so now that's fine. But what happens when I do? I don't love that. I wonder what's the deal there. Because those are children of this class, this div, so I don't think there should be an issue. Why does that open behind? This is so trippy. So now we've opened that image. I mean, right. So when we do that, we should be sort of constraining the entire body of the page to avoid scrolling, ideally. This is why modals are an absolute pain. Right now I'm scrolling everything else past. So all of these other ones somehow take precedence. Let's say, but this one is a really high Z index. I don't think that, I did not expect that to actually work, because Z index is a little bit finicky. All right, that worked. So now if we open this and then we tap that, we get the full image. This is an okay start. There's a lot of polish you could put into something like this, just to get it, try to get it perfect. But I'm rather liking where we have it. So that's for pictures. Let's maybe deal with other files. So let's just copy this whole chungus of a thing. Could pull it out a little bit. Also, if your friends should be watching this stream but aren't, do tell them to come watch. They're always welcome. Let's see. Now, down here, we have this, and then we have this one. Oh, yeah, you can actually hear the sound from this. So that's I upload an episode of the regular programming podcast, so RegProg, that I do with my friend Andreas. So nothing particularly secret about that. You can find it at regprog.com. Yay! Where we talk about programming in general, very wildly, typically. So we have a couple of episodes. Comes out every 2 weeks. If you like conversation, I think it's appropriate for you. If you dislike conversation, it's probably a bad choice. So let's see if we can make this a little bit more clear that it is, in fact, a link. So we could do BG gray 800. Scrolly. That's, oh, that looks terrible. Oh, I removed this on the other one. Yeah, okay, still looks terrible, but now it looks correctly terrible. I think I'll just publish something different with a file in it that is not, let's see, those are not, well, I can share that one, that's no problem. Now something interesting happened and something crashed. What was that? Key not found in blah 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 blah. What was that? Trying to upload a live MD file. Should not be a problem, I don't think. Let's see, what's the complaint here? Key not found in oh, what am I doing in my file handling right now? So I did make some change to persist media, I think. So most of this sorting. Just close that. Every now and then File uploads with live view get a bit screwy. Start making me very nervous. And I think it's me who screwed up something, but I don't know what. So get upload by ref. Okay, so we're doing validate upload. Maybe update uploads. I wonder if it's just the file type that it's totally crapping out on. Yeah. That's weird. Super weird. I wonder. No. Now you're okay? Must have ended up in a weird state. So I think something that can happen is that it gets a bit weird due to just reloading the code over and over. So the combination of stateful and switching out the modules under its feet. But I'm not sure what that was. But let's see if we can just do this. Well, apparently we can do it partially. So ship it notes is fine. Yeah, seems to be an issue. Might be something they're trying to sort of protect against LiveMD or only use known file formats. But I know that I've said that we accept any file. Well, let's do text file. Call that. We can add a few images as well. Got a flower. Flower. Publish that. That should really be sorted to the top. Oh, right, it's published. That's why it's further down. I should make it a draft. Just because it's super annoying to iterate if it's sort of a long way down scroll wise. So all of these sample images are things from sort of my yard or yeah, around where I live. So this time not a draft, which also means right. So that's the thing. We don't sort the drafts currently. So when we refresh the feed, we do get feed and then we order by this. Now we should be able to order by this and then update it at. There we go. So I thought I only added one ship it notes. Oh, these are different posts. Yeah, right. Right. So that does give me something to play around with. And rather than messing it up down here, then I will just go ahead and do it up here. So 300 maybe, and I think W full. Let's see. Text gray 800. What does that get us? Text center, then pad it 6 or so, because we want to sort of treat these files with a similar amount of dignity to the images, to the pictures, or at least that's my feeling so far. Let's do a document download icon. Yeah. Can that be centered too, please? I think we can do that. Pretty harsh. Seems like it doesn't use the same text color, right? Or is it just the line width that's making it harsher? So maybe the text weight could be adjusted. Doesn't super matter. I'll go MT4. So that's margin top. I just want to move it down so there's more space. Let's see, font weight. I don't know how the font weight ones work. So if I do font medium, what does that give me? Not much. Bold. Too much. Semi-bold. Still a bit much. So if I go back to medium. Nothing. I don't think this particular font has a lot of options necessarily. I haven't picked a particular font either, so yeah. If I just chunk the stroke width down to 1, does that look good? Nah, it looks okay. Don't like it. I'll go with that, and then I can just size up the font and it should be a bit chunkier. Yeah. I think that works. I'm not rounding the edges on that because I don't want to round the edges on the pictures. So yeah, I think that'll be best. I wonder if the pictures should go all the way out to, well, so end to end. But I don't think that helps with clarity, honestly. So I think next steps would probably be, I don't consider any of this completely done and perfect by any stretch, but it's workable. These are terrible. What I would probably look at doing is adding editing next. So let's commit what we have. Let's actually copy this thing we just did to the other part. there. That should mean that the podcast episode I have further down looks similarly good now. Ship notes. That's a lot of stuff to scroll past. Woohoo. Yeah, there it is. Oh, right. That's no good. I don't like that. This should definitely be inside of this, so that we can click the icon. At least we should be able to click the whole shebang, but let's start there. So now if I do that, yeah, but I can't click here. Can't click there. All right. Looks fine to me. I recognize all of these files. There's nothing weird about them. Move styling further, especially images. Okay, so if we're the person that has the permission to edit this thing, let's assume that's the case because I don't currently have a permission system. And I would like to, don't undo too much here. Let's not say that then. Yeah. Take care, I need to sleep. Yeah. We have about 15 minutes left on the stream. Yeah, so edit buttons for both drafts and other things. So if we have something here, which we would like to be able to edit, maybe we just do a ref page path don't know if we have, I think we have socket, but I'm not sure. Let's see. This would be index and then post.id. Edit. Function router page path is not fine. Model router is not available. So live view router helpers. I don't think the router helpers are necessarily available in live view. Routes, that's the thing. So let's look at what it created for us. Edit 25. That should work. But now, you see the editing is in here. So, not sure the editing thing really needs all this stuff. So it might be time to refactor the editing part into its own live component or live view. And let that sort of redirect you and separate that out. Well, first thing I could do is just a very quick and dirty variant, which is if not is no post that ID do. Oh, if it is nil, it could be open false. All right. So that means that if I try to edit one of these, I end up at it with that open. It's a little bit of a hack. Could be done much more elegantly, but not necessarily more effectively. So that's fine by me for now. Then there's a ton of things I would like the user to be able to do. We scroll down here. Let's bring one of these up. Just make sure that it works sort of as intended. Okay, it got bumped up here, which is fine. We can add that picture, puts it here. That works, that works. Everything seems fine. So deleting is also a thing. And I think we just add that to this editing form. So when you're editing something, you should have the option to delete it if it has an ID. So if it already exists, you should be able to delete it. I think that ends up being here. So this should be a quick, and it should be a Phoenix value post post ID. I think that's how you do a Phoenix value, or that. I don't remember. So thing is, I probably want this to be disabled by default. So we should be able to do let's see, xbind disable delete. And we can do this. Delete. So right now, disable. So that one actually disabled or not? I don't know. Yeah, it's disabled. Doesn't show it. All right, let's see, /disabled. Figure there's probably a Tailwind class or Tailwind variant thing for disabled. So let's do disabled BG gray 500. Yeah. Maybe a little bit lighter. Let's disable. So if we click, yeah, right now that doesn't do anything. But actually, does Alpine JS I have a window open here just to get some air in, and I'm also getting some flies in. A lot of flies. It's great. I have a fly on my nose right now. So so we could probably do something on this. So X, let's see. Maybe this should just be a normal checkbox because it's annoying to pass things into some of those. And on change, I think I should be able to do on change. I want to set disable delete. To event.target value equals enabled. I think if that's the case, That doesn't seem to change it. Let's see, we're setting this to the result of this comparison, which is I want to toggle between true and false, which this should do. Probably. Alright, so that's not changing currently. No, that's not changing. On click. That's not changing. Cool. So can you just check if this is checked maybe? So now it's checked. So this should be the inverse thing. So now I can actually tell it to send an event. I might even actually hide this button on. No, this is probably fine. This is a little bit of a reverse "are you sure" UI. That's okay. There are tons of ways to do it. I've done it differently in Noted, as MacBoo would know. Yeah, but I think that's a decent place to wrap it up. We haven't wired up the deletion function yet, so I guess that's something I will be taking on next Friday, because I'll be doing these on Fridays, while all other days I'll be having my vacation. So thanks for stopping by, and keep an eye on underu.io, because that's where I publish my stuff. All right, have a good summer. Bye.